Game Dev Tycoon is a business simulation game in the vein of such classics as Theme Park and SimCity. The game takes you from a lowly solo dev working out of your garage in the late 70s and early 80s all the way to a high-rise studio developing AAA games with your team for next-generation software. It's a fun, addictive game very suited to the mobile platform, though it doesn't come without its faults and limitations. Game Dev Tycoon takes a very simple approach to its visuals and music. Taking cues from games such as The Sims, the game provides a simple but charming art style suited to the mobile platform. I wish there would have been a little more visual indication of your personal success, as something along the lines of seeing posters on your studio walls of your created games would have been a nice touch and added a further sense of individuality to your story. Music-wise, the game provides you with pleasant sounding background music. You won't be humming these tracks the day after playing, but they never seem to get annoying or repetitive, so all in all it adds to the vibe the game is going for. Game Dev Tycoon's game loop is simple. You research your market, create games, release them, get feedback from reviewers, and hope to profit. If successful, you can make bigger, more elaborate games using newer and more expensive technology. As you progress, you will be presented with opportunities to move into a bigger studio, hire other developers, and attend gaming conventions to promote your next big budget upcoming title. Playing Game Dev Tycoon, I have felt both the sting of releasing a bum game and the exhilaration of breaking personal sales records amidst critical acclaim for my newest release. This loop of balancing your ambition while keeping an eye on your budget is a tricky tightrope to walk, but ultimately this is where the core of the fun and challenge in the game lies. One of the more fun aspects of the game is that it rewards players who are educated on the history of video games. The storyline runs from the early days of PC gaming to the rebirth of game consoles and the original Nintendo Entertainment System in the 80s, all the way to the current generation of game consoles. This ostensibly gives players the option to use their knowledge and profit from sure-thing consoles such as the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo Game Boy, or attempt to rewrite history and release that killer app that Sega never could, spurring on doomed consoles like the Dreamcast to much more success than it had in real life. This kind of thing may seem niche, but Game Dev Tycoon offers such an enticing game loop and sense of creativity that most players will find the game hard to put down. Unfortunately, success in Game Dev Tycoon can seem like pure luck. Multiple times I had paired my game with the right genre and hardware only to receive mediocre and bad reviews. The reviews offer some slight insight into what you need to improve on, but most of them are purely just one-sentence general critiques. It would have been nice to see more in-depth reviews in the game which helped the player improve. Even after doing further research and unlocking a tool which showed me which area of the game to focus on, I was occasionally given bad reviews and punished for taking a chance on new ideas. This is probably my biggest issue with Game Dev Tycoon. Finding a formula and sticking to it is rewarded with profit and progression, while trying new things and experimenting is punished with failure. While this may in a very cynical way reflect upon game development as a business in the real world, I feel like it goes against the fundamentals of gaming in penalizing the player for being creative. Game Dev Tycoon is a fun and addictive little business simulation game. The app runs well on mobile platforms and won't eat up your battery like some of the more demanding apps available. The game is also a cheap one-off purchase at about $7 Australian with no microtransactions or further dodgy business. So if you're looking for a mobile game with a lot of depth and replayability, it's hard to go past Game Dev Tycoon. Whether you've always dreamed of being the next Hideo Kojima or simply just want something new to try on your phone, Game Dev Tycoon is a fun little distraction for your mobile device.